Welcome back, everybody. Today we have more BS coming from the ATF. Unfortunately, this is happening at an increasing rate. So as of today, I received an email, as did all other FFL or Federal Firearms Licensees in America from the ATF. I have an FFL, so hence I got the email. Posted about it on social media, but basically the ATF is trying to rewrite law, which they do not have the authority to do, and it has to do with FRTs, or forced reset triggers. But this letter has a lot of holes in it, and I think that's intentional, and I think it's because the ATF knows what they're saying isn't true and would never hold up in a court of law. Why do I think that? Well, we have to look at the letter, unfortunately, and look at boring ATF letters. So we'll go on here. And basically, the first paragraph is key. The ATF recently examined devices commonly known as forced reset triggers and has determined some, keyword, of them are firearms and machine guns as defined under the NFA, and machine guns as defined under the Gun Control Act. So the key part there is the word some. They don't tell you which one. And as we go through this letter, you'll see that there's no actual models or SKUs or brands or anything like that listed. And there certainly are more than one type of quote unquote forced reset triggers. There's lots of different types. In fact, there's even 3D printed versions of them. So there's a lot of things out there that would fit their definition that they're making up. So it goes on to say that instead, these FRTs utilize the firing cycle to eliminate the need for the shooter to release the trigger before a second shot is fired. By contrast, some aftermarket triggers have similar components, but also incorporate a disconnector or similar feature to ensure that the trigger must be released before a second shot may be fired by machine guns. So what they're claiming here is that under the definition of machine guns, which we'll get to here in a second, a single function of the trigger should have to fire more than one round. Now, a forced reset trigger, it's right in the name. I've put up the diagram of how these things work in many other videos, but it literally, you pull the trigger back, and then in order to fire a second shot, the forced reset function of it, meaning that it forces the trigger to reset, and then you pull back, and that fires a second shot. So there are literally, for 2 shots fired, there's 2 pulls on the trigger. First pull, reset, second pull. It is absolutely not a single function of a trigger under any definition that is actual law. However, under the definition that the ATF is trying to make up here, they're saying that it is. It goes on to say that both the NFA and GCA regulate machine guns, and the definition is any weapon which shoots or is designed to shoot or can be readily restored to shoot automatically more than one shot without manual reloading by a single function, again, keyword, of the trigger. The term shall also include frame or receiver of such weapons, and goes on. But the key part there for that is the single function. ATF's examination found that some FRT devices allow a firearm to automatically expel more than one shot with a single continuous pull of the trigger. For this reason, ATF has concluded that FRTs that function in this way are a combination of parts designed and intended for use in converting a weapon into a machine gun, and hence ATF has classified these devices as a machine gun, as defined by the NFA and GCA. So here's the problem with their statement, right? It goes in there and says, for this reason, ATF has concluded that FRTs that function in this way. There are no FRTs that function in that way. They don't exist. Literally, like, I'm not making it up. There isn't any that I'm aware of outside of, actual full auto trigger backs, not FRTs. So what they're claiming exists literally doesn't exist. Then the letter continues on with some penalty information. Under 26 U.S. Code 5871, any person who violates or fails to comply with the provisions of the NFA may be fined up to $10,000 per violation and is subject to imprisonment for a term of up to 10 years. Further, pursuant to this section of law, any machine gun possessed or transferred in violation of the NFA is subject to seizure and forfeiture. Under 18 U.S. Code 924A2, any person who violates 922.0 may be sent to prison for up to 10 years and fined $250,000 per person or $500,000 per organization. So right there, they're threatening you with being charged with illegal possession of a machine gun for each one of these that you own. Again, they are not machine guns. I highly suspect that they're just trying to bully people into destroying or giving them up, which the next paragraph goes into. Based on ATF's determination that the FRTs that function as described above, again, there are no FRTs that function as described above. They don't exist. are machine guns under the NFA and GCA. ATF intends to take appropriate remedial action with respect to sellers and possessors of these devices. Current possessors of these devices are encouraged to contact the ATF for further guidance on how they may divest possession. If you are uncertain whether the device you possess is a machine gun as defined by the GCA and NFA, please contact your local ATF field office. You may consult the local ATF's office web page or office contact information. So what the ATF is trying to do here with this paragraph is get you to call your local ATF office, tell them that you own, according to this letter anyway, a machine gun and that you should be charged with a crime that will put you in prison for up to 10 years. I personally do not recommend you do that. I recommend contacting an attorney who specializes in this type of law, because a regular attorney will probably read this letter and tell you to do exactly what the ATF just said. And I am not an attorney, so hey, take my advice for what it is. I'm also not a biologist, but I do know what a woman is. I am not an ATF agent, but I do know what a machine gun is, and that is what it is. I would not go the regular route of what they're recommending here of contacting your ATF office, but that is up to you guys. You guys are all grown adults. But again, as I intimated in the beginning, I suspect what they're trying to do here is just bully people into destroying them, so that way they don't get caught with one. And they know that this would absolutely never in a million years stand up in a court of law, but that is just my opinion. With that, we will leave you guys. There'll be a link down to the letter in the video description if anybody wants to check it out, but that's all I got for you today. It's unfortunate, and it's just another egregious step by the ATF in a series of egregious steps that they've been taking recently, unfortunately. So that's it. If you like this type of video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Additionally, if you are subscribed, you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, you can sign up at the website here on your screen for my email. That email goes out at most once a month, and it has all of the videos since the previous email went out, so that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. Additionally, if deals go up on things that definitely aren't machine guns, I will post those, or send them out rather, in my daily deals email at the website you see here on your screen is where you can sign up for that. And if it's in the email, it's the cheapest that I know of that day anywhere on the internet, so that way it saves you guys some money and also saves you some time, because I do the looking for you. With that, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. Share this video, because the only way that anything will ever be done to stop these people is if everybody's aware of what they're doing. Look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.